because man, that's such a judgment call. Because like he was like maybe a yard. That's such a judgment call. Well, hey, everybody.
So it's funny because I've been walking like every night, like in October, trying to get those 10K steps and all that. And so I'm listening to the podcast, and it's from this time last year is where I'm at, like on my feed. So it's funny because you're talking about like Halloween and like not so scary parties and all this stuff on trip reports, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool that happened last week or whatever. I'm like, no, it was like a year ago and a week ago.
It was probably comparing like the Boo Bash and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's funny and like talking about Jollywood Nights, like, oh, I wonder what it's gonna be like. I'm like, didn't it already happen?
It's true. Yeah. And this year's Jollywood Nights is gonna be so much better. I think.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to be like a year behind almost, because then you're like, you can like, oh yeah, well now we know how that went and like how our predictions are and stuff.
It is crazy. So are you gonna go to Jollywood Nights when you're down there?
I am not. The schedule is so weird because like it's just not gonna work because one of the nights that I was gonna go, like Epcot has the deluxe after hours, and I kind of want to do that because that's free for me already, you know. And like I'm already going to Mickey's Very Merry, which is I love that party. I mean, so I mean, if I had to choose, like that's the one I wanted to go to anyway. But it's fine. And I'm paying for tickets, Mike, which hurts too. Like if I wasn't paying for theme park tickets, it'd be different.
I know I don't have an annual pass right now either. It's crazy because I'm like in between the renewal cycle, so I'm waiting to renew to get it. I'm probably just gonna buy a new one.
Yeah, because ours came due in April, and we knew we had like the European trip and all that. I was like, I'm not gonna pay for the annual pass for 6 months and like just let it sit there, you know.
So. That's where I am too. Oh my god, it's Thanksgiving.
But like it's gonna be like $2,700. Like that kills me, man.
It does.
But I was like, do I buy an annual pass then? But like, I'm not going to.
I know.
But Jason's man, but like, it's a fun game. But like, man, it's gonna cost us big time with Hutch. Man, that hurts. I mean, not as much as it hurts him right now, but
yeah, his legs probably hurting more than you are right now. I mean,
yeah. I told Mike in the pre-show, like I'd rather have taken the loss in this game, reverse the score, and keep Hutchinson healthy. Like, but
before we start the show, I was comparing it to when Luther Burden went across the middle in a UMass game yesterday in front of 10,000 people in Amherst, Pennsylvania, and our quarterback got him smoked in a game that meant nothing. I'm like, what? Like, what are we doing? Why is he out there, and why are we throwing him across the middle?
I like Jason's optimism there too, though. Yeah, get him back before the playoffs. It is still early enough in the season.
That guy is taunting me. That dude lives in my dreams. What's his first name? Because I forget his first name.
Number 9.
Okay, that Jason. This guy. We're gonna start the show. I promise, because we got stuff there. But it was a penalty on him.
It was a penalty. Yeah,
it should be. Okay, this guy played against us in high school. Number 9 for the Lions. He played against Francis Howell. He went to CBC. And we played against him at the H. And that dude, he tears up guys in the NFL. Imagine what he did a couple years ago against our high school kids.
Wow.
Hang on, people. The show hasn't started yet. I like your enthusiasm, though. We're going to talk. We're so popular. We have people calling in already. All right, let's do this. Yeah, Jameis Williams, because he went to after CBC went down to Alabama. So yeah, dude, he terrorized us. I mean, some people in high school are men among boys, and we were good, but dude, not fair. Okay, let's do a show. Yeah, it's raining up there so much. It's been beautiful down here. Keep this stuff up there.
It's been very rainy here.
It's gonna be cold here though. Starting tomorrow, high 55. All right, let's see. Oh, I gotta get the music ready. How about that? Too much going on. There we go. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line for Sunday night, October 13th, 2024. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Thursday if you're checking us out on the replay. Hope you're having a great week or a great weekend. We are here for the next hour, taking your calls at 407-413-9395. That's 407-413-9395. We're here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. We're all over the place, just not the NFL Network, but we may have it in the background. Who knows? Also, happy Thanksgiving to all of our Canadian friends. Rhonda Lee let us know that. So wish we could be up there with you. I don't know if you guys do turkey and stuffing and all that stuff, but if you do, set us a place. Scott and I will be there right as the show concludes. But speaking of Scott, my brother from another mother up in Michigan, he's here. We're going to have a good time this week. Scott, what's going on? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you, Mike. And I love the chat when we do these shows too. Like, I know we get some good calls, but I love it when the chat is on fire, with all this great commentary. We got a lot going on, but good friend Thomas of the show. Yes, I owe you a slice of cake from the cake shop because the Indians took the series from the Tigers. It was a good series, though. Honestly, it was fun to watch. I really loved all those games. Good pitching, good hitting, but Cleveland was the better team. And go beat those Yankees. All right, come on, Thomas, let's get it.
Yeah, I did see a tweet that there was a Tigers fan leaving the stadium and gave a fist bump to an Indians fan. They both said, "Go." In other words, go beat the Yankees. Both.
Basically, that's what that language is. Yes,
it's a good Midwestern tweet.
Yeah, I mean, just my 30 seconds of sports for this one. Like, the Tigers are playing on house money, though. I mean, we were not expecting to make that deep run. August was a blast. September was a blast. October was going great too. And you know what? We just ran out of steam. It happened. So it was a nice spark for the city and the state for sure. And it was a lot of fun.
It was. And Lane Thomas, former Cardinal, doing a little damage there. As soon as we trade a Cardinal, dude, they get hotter than a Texas tamale. And speaking of Texas, Jimmy Jones shouting out his Longhorns. Yes. After the first quarter, they caught on fire as well in the Red River rivalry. But we will not talk football today. We're talking Disney, and we're going to have a good time. We got a lot of calls coming in at 407-413-9395. But we have a password. It's a new thing when you call into the show to be able to talk on the air. This is something one of my sports talk shows always does. They have a password. They have something you have to do before you're allowed to address the show. So sometimes last week or a couple weeks ago, it was your favorite Blizzard topping you had to give, and then you could talk about whatever you wanted during the show. This week, because they were talking about the Red River rivalry, which if you don't know, it's the Texas OU game that takes place down at the Cotton Bowl every year between Texas and Oklahoma. You had to give your favorite food you would get at a state fair, and then talk about why it was, and then you could talk about anything you wanted for sports. Tonight, you have to address your favorite treat from Epcot. So when you call in, you got to give your favorite snack, favorite treat you get at Epcot. Then we'll carry on. We could talk about anything. We could talk about Cake Bake Shop. We could talk about the best value in dining around Walt Disney World. Anything that's on your mind. It is your call tonight. It's your show at 407-413-9395.
Is this to help screen from spam calls too? To make sure we got a good caller on the line.
We might get spammed. We just open it up. Who knows? We've been spammed, dude. We've been trolled.
Oh, yeah.
We've been spammed. We've been spammed in the cam. Who knows? All right, we got our first call on the line, and who's joining us tonight? Hello. Hello. Who's this?
This is John from Ohio.
John, what's going on? What do you got on your mind? First of all, best snack at Epcot. What do you got?
Best snack I've had at Epcot was during one of the festivals. I got the sweet corn. It was just piled with all kinds of jazz on it. It was delicious. It was fantastic.
That qualifies.
All kinds of.
You are in.
Yeah.
I've had the sweet corn. I've had it all over my trousers because it had
Yeah,
so much
no,
butter.
it was a disastrous mess.
Absolutely.
But,
You are in. So what's on your mind?
awesome. Well, literally right before the show, I was catching up. I was just catching up listening to your shows from last week, and I was just listening to your I missed the live broadcast last week, and so I was just listening to about the about the cake bake shop thing, and I wanted to pass something on to you that I looked up, and I thought this was kind of like, I remember going back the very first time I went to Disney World with my kids, and it was in 1990. And we had 3 kids with us, and we went to what was then, it wasn't Hollywood Studios, it was still
MGM.
MGM Studios, which I loved. I still miss the MGM, the original MGM Studios, and all the stuff. And except for the fact that my son at the time was 3 years old, and everything we went to had guns and fire, and it scared the living what out of him. But we went to get some food, and they were pretty particular as little kids for what they wanted to eat. And we found a place, and I said, "Oh, they got peanut butter and jelly here." And it was like gourmet peanut butter and jelly. And this was 1990, and the peanut butter and jelly was $10. And we're like, "Oh my gosh!"
In 1990,
we paid the price. Yeah, 1990, and I looked it up just a few minutes ago to see what the 1990 $10 price would be today, and it's over $24. So, so maybe their price isn't so bad. Now, maybe what it was is maybe, I don't know if they're doing it fancy, but their peanut butter and jelly, I paid the $10, got the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for the kids. And to be honest with you, they hated it.
Well, yeah, because kids don't.
Because they had pieces of strawberry on it,
yes,
pieces of banana on it.
Yeah, too fancy. No, wait. Now, where was you said the studios? But where was this exactly in the studios? Do you remember for this?
I don't remember. It was there in the area where
I love history.
The diner is. Yeah, it was there close to where the diner is.
Okay.
I'm just blanking out.
No, it's all right. Kind of up by 50s prime time, maybe the Hollywood and Vine.
Yeah. By 50s prime time. Yeah, by 50s in that area by where 50s prime time is.
Wow.
So
I just want to know. I just had to know the scene of the crime. I mean, come on now, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what it was at that time because we didn't go. I didn't go back from 1990 until 2014 or something like that. But I just remember being crazy. And we were staying off property, and we took the car and we went to Publix and bought a bunch of food.
Yes.
And for the next day, we brought it with us because we were like, going, okay, the kids aren't eating this stuff. We're gonna take our own thing in. And that's the great thing about Disney is they don't stop you from bringing food in. So we brought all our food in for the next couple of days. But but I just heard you talk about that cake bake shop, and when I heard it, I was surprised too. And then I thought, wow, you know what? That was crazy back when we went. And
what's funny is we're going to have a caller tonight, Alexis. She actually lived in Indy, and she's going to call in here in just a minute. I see she was trying to call in, and she emailed me a couple of days ago. She lived in Indianapolis, and she's experienced the one out there. She's going to give us kind of a review of what it's like because she's been in there a few times. And because I was asking her, she has experience with it. So I wanted her to, give us thoughts because she's been in there, but it's because I still think it's outrageous. But I guess it is what the market will bear. But I like how you try to balance out the universe, right? You're like, they got me once, but now I'm going to Publix and I'm going to make my 50-cent peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for a week. So by the time we leave, it's going to break even. We're going to break even here. I like the way you think. That's exactly what I would have done.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the call.
I love your
I
show.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Scott, for being on there. You're a great guest on there as well, host, and I love listening. I never called in before, but I just thought I'd share that little anecdote about that sandwich that we tried to buy, that we did buy, many years ago.
Caller of the night already. We appreciate you, and don't be a stranger. It's nice to meet you.
Appreciate the kind words, John.
You too. Take care.
All right, you have a good week. Good talk. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I love first time callers. Just a new friend we got to meet tonight. That's great. Okay, so hang on. I think we have Alexa calling in, Scott, because I got to ask you something about your trip. But Alexis, I see the 317. I think that's Indy. We have lots of friends in Indy, Scott. We did.
Yeah, we do.
All moved out of Indy, though. It seems like everybody was in Indy. Now they're in Florida.
I know. They moved further away from me because, like, I could hop on 69. I'd be there in like 3.5 hours. Now they're all gone.
We love Fishers. There is a Zaxby's in Fishers, Indiana.
Yeah, it's a good one too.
I don't have anybody to visit in Fishers, Indiana anymore. Anyway,
I guess we just meet there, Mike. That could be our meeting spot.
For real. I hope this is Alexis. Alexis, are you there?
Yeah. Guys, how are you?
I'm doing great. So we just had a caller. Apparently, the expensive peanut butter and jelly was a thing back in 1990 at Walt Disney World. This is just going to be retro at this point. Yeah. So
surprising to hear. Yes, hope y'all are doing well. I was thinking about this. I don't think I've talked to you guys or called in since I got to see you guys at the meetup in Marathon Weekend in January. So I was like, wow, it's about time.
It is. But I mean, we understand people have lives and we don't. And, that's just how things are.
Oh my God. Well, yeah. Well, so good to chat with you guys. Yeah. So, okay. Like I live in Houston now, but I spent most of my life growing up in Indianapolis. And so I was thinking about this after I emailed you, Mike. I'm not sure when the actual craze started with the cake bake shop. Like, I don't remember when it actually opened up. But there's two locations. So there's one in the Broad Ripple area, which is towards downtown, and that's pretty small. It looks like it's one of those ones that was originally like a small house that somebody redid as a business. And then the other one is in Carmel, and it's probably like 3 or 4 times as big. It's kind of crazy. That's the one. I know y'all are talking about Fishers. My parents still live in Fishers, so it's only like a 15-minute drive from their house. So it's funny to hear all the commotion about it because I'm like, we drive by this all the time.
So, of course, it's driven a lot of social media buzz. I mean, we've gotten our mileage out of it over the past week because it's kind of been a slow time other than the storm, to talk about with stuff happening with Disney. What are your thoughts though? Because you've got to experience it out in Indiana. Of course it is. It's not marketed for Mike Rallman, right? It is marketed to a different audience, and there is an audience for it, I'm sure, because somebody mentioned, we had this conversation, I think on one of my social media posts, that it is attached to a resort that charges $1,000 a night for hotel rooms. So there is an audience that's paying a lot for hotel rooms. So maybe a $20 slice of cake isn't something that people are going to balk at. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I have some thoughts. I probably have some hot takes, as y'all like to say, but
bring them.
Yeah. Okay. So it's funny you mentioned that. I wanted to start with like the ambiance of it, Mike, because I actually was there a couple weeks ago. My mom and I will get random reservations whenever I'm in town. I think we have another one on like December 23rd. You do have to get reservations on Open Table like months in advance. But the ambiance is great. So it's kind of like what you would imagine, like the inside of maybe like cotton candy, with like a bunch of different like animals, and there's a lot of swans. So one of my favorite things is in the winter, they redecorate it for Christmas and it's beautiful. Like it's aesthetically very pretty in there. Lots of like very light pinks and cream colored. But they have this giant like swan that kind of looks like, it kind of looks like one of the ride vehicles that you would ride like Peter Pan in, but obviously there's no lap belt, but it looks like a giant swan and you can sit in it in front of a Christmas tree and people like to take pictures of it. So it's got like that kind of vibe. But what I found funny, Mike, and I thought of you immediately. So my dad had like an appointment over in that area and my mom and I were at lunch and he was like, I'll just stop by and, say hi to you guys. And my dad is like, kind of like like he's one of those like older dads who's kind of like, like friends with everybody, like a ladies man a little bit with like the older ladies, that kind of thing. Like he's just like will get along with anybody, like to crack jokes, whatever. When he walked into the cake bake shop, my mom looked at me and she's like, I've never seen him this uncomfortable before.
That's me at a place called Josephine's Tea Room around here that our staff that I used to work at, all female gifted education staff, used to go all the time for staff meetings, and I'm there. Josephine's Tea Room. I'm like, I went, but I was the only guy there.
Yes. Okay, that's exactly how it was. He looked around and was like, are there any other men here? And I was like, yeah, there's one way over there, like in the corner, basically. Yeah, but it's kind of, it was just funny to see, because I think he was planning on staying for like a coffee, but he didn't actually stay. He was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna actually go, because he saw that what the coffee came in. It was like those little cup and saucers, and I think that kind of scared him away.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. I'll tell you, in my instance, is that the desserts at this Josephine's Tea Room, which is it's in Grafton, which is across the river in Illinois. It's about 45 minutes from here, but the desserts are to die for. They're expensive. Oh my God, I'm just telling the story of Cake Bake Shop. They're expensive, but they are to die for. They are so good that I didn't care. Like, I mean, I was there with like all 65-year-old women that were retired. And, I was still like a 35-year-old dude at that time. I was like, dude, I don't care. Like, whatever I got to do to get to that cheesecake. Like, because it had whipped cream on it, and I mean, all kinds of other toppings. It didn't matter. Like, and they're like, that thing's gonna be $17, sir. Take my card. I don't care. Like, I could, and I'm cheap, and I did, but it was that good, and it had a reputation.
Yeah.
It's a small little intimate thing. But here's the thing: what I'm hearing, Scott, and let me get Scott in here, because a few years back, actually, right when I first kind of went from teaching to travel, we went up to Chicago, and you guys did this. You guys went to a few places downtown, but it sounds like this is kind of an Instagrammable place. And I think that's kind of the hotness too, to go kind of combine a place where you can have these, very foodie type experiences, but very Instagrammable. Scott, was that kind of like that place you guys went down in Chicago for, like that like, I forget, you got
the Sugar Factory is what it was called. Yeah.
It's kind of similar thing, kind of sounded.
Where they had like the drinks that just had smoke coming out of them and bubbles, and they were just straight sugar, and they were like $30 drinks. Like, it was outrageous. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I kind of see where I kind of see what you're saying with the comparison, though, Mike. Like, oh, this is a hip, cool place to be. Let's special occasions. Let's get our group together, and then like not even worry about the price, really, right?
As long as we can show that we're there on Instagram, right? Because it should, we gotta flaunt it, kind of thing.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And honestly, I actually wrote down, I have seen bridal showers, I've seen baby showers, I have seen my personal friends have taken their engagement photos outside of it, because it's so pretty from the outside as well. They've got one of those like swinging benches where you can just, with like a background. They have so much stuff that's like, honestly, sometimes that's how I know which of my friends from like high school are in town over the holidays, because they'll have gone to the Cake Bake Shop, and I'll see it on Facebook.
But I mean, and more power to you if that's what you do. Like, I'm not downing people for doing that. That is a marketing tool at this point for businesses, right? I mean, I live in a part of St. Charles County where we have a little town next to us called Cottleville, and it's got it's so cute downtown that they've developed. And that's what it is. Like, they've got little places that they've developed where people go for, I mean, all the kids go for their school dance photos, and weddings are there. And I mean, that's what brings in the business, right? But I mean, you see all the pictures there, but then you can sell adult beverages, you can sell desserts, you can, it's a driver of business. It's smart. I mean, it's business. And what do you see? You see it all over. It's free marketing. You see it on your Instagram. You see it on Facebook. And then what does it do? It brings front of mind. What are we talking about right now? We're talking about the Cake Bake Shop. It's not even open. It's perfect.
Totally. And I think it would be something that, like, Emily and Mallory would love, just because it's like such a fun place to go. But my advice to you all is, I would honestly wait or plan a trip to Indiana to go, because it's a little bit cheaper. I actually wrote down some of the prices, but also you're not that far, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's closer and cheaper to get there than it is to fly to Florida. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that's true. And Mallory would totally be into it, because she's into anything that's expensive. I swear. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So
totally
I don't remember a little bit of the drink prices. There's a couple of things that I love there. One is called this like blackberry lavender drink, and I think I looked it up, and it was $17. But then on the contrary, like, it's one of those places where there's like a $16 glass of sparkling wine, and you can buy it for the whole bottle, at like a Total Wine for like $13. And the coffee that I had last time was like $8 for a latte, and it was in like that little cup and saucer that like my great grandma would use and serve people. But I did want to say their food, at least at the ones in Indiana, is actually really good. There's a couple of different things that I've had. My mom and I swear by this broccoli and Parmesan quiche. It is huge. It is so good. And it comes with, I know there was a little bit of talk, like what comes on the side with it. Again, this is in Indiana, so I don't know if it's going to happen there, but it comes with like this like arugula salad that's like lightly dressed. And then I also get like a cup of soup with it, and it's like a perfect meal. And so the broccoli and parm quiche with that little salad is only $18 in Indiana. And I'm saying only. It's kind of like when people are like, I'm just doing the marathon, but it's like only $18. But I think there's a pasta there that's really good. One of my close friends loves that. But I know it's called the Cake Bake Shop, right? And so the couple of cakes that I've tried and that my mom have tried, there's one, I think the person who owns it, I think she was like on Oprah or something. And one of the things about the restaurant is she also has a bunch of different pictures and spreads of her magazines and her meeting people. Like there's one of her meeting Chef Morimoto at the bar area. I think her name's Gwendolyn Rogers. She meets all these celebrity chefs, and I think she made a cake for Oprah, and it's like a mint chocolate one. And a slice of that, they're actually very big slices of cake. I'm not a big frosting person, and it's a lot of frosting though. And so that slice of cake is like $16. And then this raspberry champagne cake that I would love to like, but again, I don't think the cake is that good, was like $17. So it seems like it may just be like we're on Disney property markup, because the slices are pretty expensive themselves. But again, I don't go there for the cake. I honestly go there to eat the food.
I think too, what's going to happen is though, it's going to be, I feel, I don't know, Scott, how you feel, but I think it's going to happen to Scott though. This is because I would do the same. And I mean, I'm not as apt to do this than Scott is, I think, but I'm going to be like when in Rome, right? If I'm going to go there and have a meal and it's called the Cake Bake Shop, like I'm not going to leave there without having a dessert. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's like, why, like I'm here, you know what I'm saying? Like I'd imagine those reservations initially are going to be a little bit difficult to get. And so if you get in the door, you're going to regret not at least getting a slice of cake to be able to talk about it, to try it, have the experience. Like, you know, I think you would regret it even. So you are going to pay the price, right? You're going to pay the piper, right? So, I mean, it seems like you would have to almost be obligated to at least get a piece of cake.
God, absolutely. And I feel like that's going to be most people that go there, right? Especially on the early goings, like, oh, it's this new place, so I gotta experience the breakfast menu. I gotta experience the lunch and dinner menu. Gotta try all these different appetizers and cakes. Oh yeah, when I go there,
you gotta go.
It's gonna be a crazy spread. It's probably gonna be like ridiculous amount of money, but you know that's how it is anywhere I go. Like at a signature meal, like we're gonna order appetizers, get the desserts, and it's an experience, right? So food is an experience for me. It's my favorite thing to do at Walt Disney World. So yeah. You got to get the dessert. Maybe just get one or two for the table, take some back to the resort with you, and have it for breakfast the next morning too.
I think that's what you're going to have to do, because Alexa says they're larger, you know, get a slice and, you know, get a couple slices and everybody gets, you know, split it up and get to try different kinds.
Exactly.
That'd be a good way to go.
They are. You can split them easily. One thing, like my hot take is that it's probably the best key lime pie I've ever had.
That's good to know.
Yeah. But I would say try it. And I mean, if you are like, wow, I love it, then you can go back to the one in Indiana. But it's a good experience. Honestly, the food, like I said, the food is actually really good. So I would say it's worth it. Now, again, I don't know about, I was thinking about those like $9 milks or whatever. Like that was the part that I was like, really? But, you know, I mean, I don't have kids, so I don't know how much a cup of milk is supposed to cost. But I would say try it, and if you like it, maybe you can do a weekend trip or something to Indy. But I'm hoping that it works out. Even my mom was like, we should go to the one in we can see if we get reservations there. I was like, Mom, we can drive down the road 10 minutes and there's less people there, and it's the exact same thing. One thing I do hope, and I think y'all mentioned this, was I do hope they bring the tea back, or a tea or something, or like a little, you know, party or something for like younger girls and boys, like who dress up like princes and princesses or something like that, just because I feel like that would be really fun. It's honestly like the perfect environment. I could just see like those kids' eyes just like wide open, and it just being, because it's a very, like, you feel fancy while you're there. So if they wanted to do like a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and then go over there or something, 100% I could see that.
Well, here's the thing too, like and of course they built the place, rebuilt it from ESPN Club, but the footprint of that building is so large that I can't imagine they wouldn't have put like a little room somewhere to specifically make it for like tea parties. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's Walt Disney World. How could somebody not see that as such a, you know, an upsell opportunity to have tea parties from noon to 5 every single day for an upsell charge? I mean, that would be, there's so many ways that Disney, if they don't do that, they're just missing out an opportunity to print money. I mean, because even like I had a good time going to high tea at the Grand Floridian. We did it with Forrester Scott's family. And I mean, I had the best time with little finger sandwiches and different kinds of teas. We had a great time, and they could do that. I mean, because you're at Walt Disney World again. It's that thing like, where else? Just give it a try. You're on vacation. You're more likely to loosen the wallet when you're on vacation.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I do wish that like they would put something more of like a sports bar or something back where, like, since obviously this took over where ESPN is, where Big River used to be, because I love that laid back environment where you could just stroll on the boardwalk and just kind of like walk up and say, hey, you know, like we even had a pretty decent time there when my mom and I went and ran Princess like in 2017 or something. We weren't really like, you know, in the know on all the reservations and stuff. So we just went and it was really fun. And so I'm hoping that they do something like that in that space.
Yeah, that is one thing. I mean, again, I'm a sports guy, so Scott, but I mean, it'd be great for the boardwalk to have a sports bar. I mean, just casual walk up, catch your game, just something like City Works over on the boardwalk, just easily accessible. You know, just be able to check out your game, because that's what everybody always asks. Where can I see my game? Because, you know, like Jets fans are down there, Giants fans, whatever, you know, Cardinals fans, whoever's, you know, playing Cowboys fans. Everybody wants to see their team. So that'd be great. All right. Well, hey, Alexa, we got a lot of calls coming in, but man, thank you for that information, because you've been there. Yeah. That's helpful. And Scott's going to go there and we're going to find out.
Hope to go there.
Walls got to come down sometime. That thing's been built forever. I mean, you got to tear the walls down eventually. Let's go.
Yes, 100%. I will look forward to hearing what everybody's thoughts are about it.
And you got Mel excited. She's in Australia. She's ready to fly 20 hours to get her cake. So there you go, Alexis. You got her pumped up over on Instagram. There you go. Well, hey, Alexis, good to talk to you. Take care down in Texas.
Yeah. Have a great night, you guys.
Thank you. We'll
talk. Great one. Nice chatting with you as always.
All righty. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Later. Bye.
That was a great call. Great recap.
Well, now I want something sweet.
This is a hot topic, though, isn't it, man? Everyone's talking about this.
I'm telling you, man, expensive cake. Nothing gets people going
and that's the thing. So it's got all this hot. I heard you say something that got me thinking. Like everyone's like, "Oh my god, the prices are ridiculous" and all that. Like it's gonna be impossible to get the reservation there. Because everyone's gonna want to experience it, right? But is this gonna be like a Space 220 where everyone's gonna want to experience it once and not come back? That's what I'm very curious about.
But here's the thing, like, and I did Space 220 twice just because we did it like it's a grand opening, and then I did it I went with somebody else, and I haven't really had, and I'm a space dude, but I haven't had desire really to go back, but it's still a hard ADR to get. You can just walk in.
And I don't want to ever get it, but when I'm booking ADRs at 60 days, like, and I see it available, I feel like
you're tempted.
I almost feel like I got to get it because like you can't get it, but you know what I mean?
Yep. Oh, somebody said charcuterie in the chat. All right. We have our next caller on the line. Thanks, Michael. What's up? Who's joining us?
How we doing, guys? This is Tim from North Carolina.
Tim, I'd never guess that with that accent. You're from North Carolina.
Don't forget your password question, Mike.
Get the password from Alexis. Because she dropped so much information on us. Tim, first password. What's the best snack around Epcot? What do you go for?
Wow. I think I got to go for some of that macaroni with the barbecue on it in Animal Kingdom.
That's not an Epcot, but we'll take it because it's so good.
So Tim's actually gonna walk into Epcot and be like, "Nah, this isn't good for me. I'm going to Animal Kingdom."
It's so good, we don't care. We'll just take a different park. Who cares? You guys have been through a lot in Carolina. We're good with you. But you got Helene and all that stuff. We'll take whatever you want. We're good. We're thinking of you. What's going on?
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, you're right. Our Western area is going through a lot right now. Appreciate your thoughts.
You got it. You got it for sure. Glad that you're hanging in there. So what do you got on your mind?
Well, my wife and I, we got an impromptu trip to Coronado Springs, and we just want to know what kind of advice you guys got for Coronado Springs.
I've been hogging the time here. I'm gonna let Scotty G take this one for a minute. Go ahead, Scotty G.
Well, my advice is just really like soak up that environment at that resort. Like I love Coronado Springs. It was our second resort. We stayed there and just instantly fell in love. I one of my favorite things to do, and I don't know if you're an early riser or not, Tim, but like I love walking the resort grounds like in the morning, like at sunrise. It's so peaceful, and this is kind of true for any resort, but Coronado especially because there's so many like cool views that you can get, especially if you like to take photos, right? Like of the tower with like a sunrise behind it, of the fountains that they have, like walking those bridges and going to those outer buildings and just looking at all the palm trees. And sometimes you'll see some interesting like animals out there too. Like I've seen like a crazy bird just like looking at me like on an early morning walk. But I really like just soaking up that environment of the resort, especially in the morning. I think it's just a great way to start the day.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah, we've got an
but
impromptu trip, so we were
but
looking forward to it.
yeah, but outside of that, I mean, whether you like to have a cocktail or not, I think Three Bridges and the Barcelona Lounge is a great experience. The Barcelona Lounge, like we just loved hanging out there. We stayed there over spring break this year, and we just hung out there a ton. We would play card games and all that. We had this great character interaction with Dale while he was visiting in the lobby. That was hysterical hanging out with him. But just the environment there, the cast members are great. I mean, you can have an alcoholic beverage, you can have a mocktail. Um, Cafe Bomb Bomb, if you're into coffee, is one of the most tastiest drinks I've ever had in my life. So highly recommend that if you're a coffee guy. But yeah, just there's so much to offer from the restaurants and all the public areas. It's just a beautiful resort, I would say. And Mike, I'm sure you echo all of that too, right?
right. And it's got great dining, like you said, Three Bridges, Scott mentioned. But I mean, you also have, if you like Mexican, sit down Mexican. Maya Grill is one of my favorite places to eat. Rick's is a good place if you want to catch some sports and some grub. Like, if you're looking for some sports bar food, they have it. If you're looking for like good cheeseburger, kind of interesting cheeseburgers, onion rings, stuff like, you get like B-dubs, stuff like that. Good atmosphere there. They got the little cafe Rick's for some sweet treats. It's hardly ever open though. If it's open, you get lucky.
Now, Tim, are you a pool guy? Do you plan on spending any time at the pools?
Oh yeah, we like to spend a little time out there. Absolutely.
You're in then.
So-
Good pick.
Great pool place. So I will say, like the dig site, which is like the primary pool, that place gets packed early, really, really early.
Yeah.
I rope dropped it even on a day where we're like, all right, we're gonna make this a pool morning. We'll go to the parks later that night, and there were still like 6 families ahead of us, and I was like, they're like super early. But don't fret on that though. I mean, while that main pool is area, I love the quiet pools there. The Casitas one is my favorite.
That's sweet.
But the Ranchos has a sweet pool where you had to like take these like steps up. It's kind of elevated. You kind of see that on the walking path. And the Cabanas pool is super nice too. So don't fret at that. But if you have time, definitely hit up the Dick side and go down the Jaguar slide. Very underrated water slide, in my opinion.
You got to send us a picture if you go down that slide.
Okay.
We got to
Yes.
see it, like a selfie or something. Come on now.
For sure.
So who's your team? Like football team? Who's your football team?
I got a couple, but I grew up in South Carolina originally, so I'm a Clemson Tiger fan. So go Tigers.
There you go. You guys are hot. Debo's got them winning. Turned it around. You're
Yep.
doing well. Okay, I'm just curious. So what are you looking forward to on this trip, though? I mean, impromptu trip. What's on you? What's like high on your agenda for this trip?
Well, I think the wife and I just want to just kind of take it as it comes. One of those trips, and we're DBC owners, so we've been down a lot. We enjoy it, but this is kind of impromptu, and we're just going to take it as it comes. And we're very interested in Food and Wine Festival, so we're looking forward to that.
Ooh, nice.
You're doing it right. I mean, you're doing it so right. It's perfect. I mean, just let it come to you and just do Food and Wine and going to Coronado Springs. I mean, there's perfect.
Now, Tim, are you all driving? I'm sure you're in striking range. Are you planning to drive?
Yeah, we're about 8 hours away, so I think we looked at flights, but I think we're going to drive down.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to that. So sometimes the drive down is a little bit of adventure too. So we're looking forward to it.
Exactly. And then the drive home is like painful, right? You're just like, oh my gosh, wish I had the flight.
It's absolutely painful. It
Yeah.
seems like it takes twice as long going home than it does going down. Absolutely. Every time.
Nice.
But wait a second, I got to ask you something because I've never driven that drive like that way, right? I used to drive from St. Louis to Walt Disney World many, many times, 15 hours, because I was scared to fly forever. But you guys get to drive past that place called South of the Border, correct?
That's correct. south of the border, going into South Carolina. That's
okay.
right.
Everybody talks about that. What in 30 seconds, what is that place? I mean, is it awesome? If you laugh, I mean, you like laughing.
He knows it, Mike.
I mean, I think I've seen like Twitter sign, like pictures on Instagram or social media, but I mean, it's a gas station or something, right? Or a tourist trap or something, right?
Oh, it's more than a gas station. It's almost like it's 1970s amusement park. There's all kind of stuff there, but it's if you want some really great coffee mugs or T-shirts or things like that, that's the place to go right there. Maybe some shot glasses. That's where you want to go.
Oh God,
right
that sounds like
a Buc-ee's almost, right, Mike?
Dude, it sounds like mid-Missouri going to Columbia for a football game. We have a place called Ozark Land. That sounds exactly like south of the border, man. It's got fudge and antiques and shot glasses. I mean, that could be it.
There you go. That's describing it perfect.
There's another.
You might run up on a putt-putt place too.
We got a place right outside our Columbia, because I know you guys have Columbia in South Carolina, but we have our Columbia. It's like a general store right off of 70 where our university is, and it says something like britches, bologna, bullets, and something else. It's 4 B's that they sell. I'm just like, man, you're out of the city on the way to Mizzou when you see that sign. It's like, good Lord. Yeah, I always see the south of the border.
Right.
See, so there you go. I mean, that makes the drive worth it, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, we stop every now and again, but not too often. But we do stop sometimes.
That's good for the soul, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Well, hey, have a good time, and it's good to talk to you.
Yeah, it's good talking to you guys. And I'm just going to mention, Scotty G, really enjoying your content out there with the cruises. We've been following that along, so it's a great job there.
Oh my gosh, Tim, like you're making me blush over here. I really appreciate that. Thank you for watching and all that. And I was gonna throw out one more tip. That's why I asked if you were driving. So if you're doing food and wine too, so like the bus might be the right option depending on how hard you get after it right at Epcot. So I will say the bus stop at the main tower, I think it's actually called Stop 1, but it's actually the last one in the rotation.
Correct.
So I don't know, and you can let us know if you're staying at the tower or the outer buildings. So sometimes that is a hard bus to get on in the morning, I'm just going to say, because it's gone through the whole resort and then you wait for it and boom, it's like standing room only, or they can only get a few people in. So a tip I like to give is try to go to an outer bus, like bus stop 2, 3, or 4, if you're going to be taking the bus to Epcot or any of the parks. Just throwing that out there, because sometimes that can be really rough in the morning.
Oh, that's good advice. Yeah, we probably will have a few cocktails, so that's good advice.
Okay, nice. Well, I hope you enjoy it, man. I have a few cocktails, and then, like I was saying, that Barcelona lounge in the main tower, definitely hit that up, man. Those guys behind the bar are some of the best in the business, I think. And at Three Bridges too. The whole resort is great. So live it up, Tim. I hope you have a great time.
Yeah, have an awesome time. Go Tigers.
And thanks for watching the show. I appreciate it,
guys.
All right. Hey, don't be a stranger. Give us a holler when you get back and let us know how it went.
All right, we'll do.
All right. Safe travels. Talk to you soon.
See you guys.
All right.
See you, Tim. But going on with Tim, like, I hope he makes a trip to Animal Kingdom so he can have his favorite snack too, right?
His favorite Epcot.
What is your favorite thing at Epcot? Well, they get the barbecue mac and cheese at Animal Kingdom.
Yep, his favorite thing at Epcot is mac and cheese at Animal Kingdom.
That's the greatest answer. I love it.
That is the greatest answer. He's now calling of the night. All right.
The mac and cheese is so good that you would go from Epcot to Animal Kingdom.
Hey,
there you go. I agree.
That's a vote of confidence right there, Jimmy. That's a hike. I've done it. I do it once a year during the marathon. I'm gonna think about that in January. I'm like, dang, I wish I had mac and cheese right now. What's up, Eric? How's it going?
So yeah, that's what they keep going there. You know that there's a mac and cheese station that really helps you with your running.
Only, yeah. Instead they're throwing bananas at me. Whatever.
Before Eric gets in, though, we need to know he's got to answer the password too.
Yes. What's your best snack around Epcot? Got to get in.
Yeah, you've asked this question before, and I always feel like I have to call up the same thing. It is simple. It's the Kaigori shaved ice all the way back in Japan.
No, dude, you're like Cupid hitting Scott in the heart with that one.
You did. That is.
It is the best shaved ice you will have anywhere. This is not that fairgrounds. This is not the Snoopy snow cone machine. This is really, really good.
It is really good. I will say, like, Hawaii shave ice might have a beat.
It's a hot August day. You're walking. Maybe you had your margarita all the way back at Mexico, and then right in the middle, there's this beautiful cool down. You can hydrate. You can walk up the steps to that little nice garden and watch the koi and maybe enjoy the drummers. It is a great snack, but second, the placement is absolutely perfect.
Hashtag ambiance.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have a spot that I like to enjoy it, and I kind of don't even want to say it on the podcast, but Eric, you kind of hinted at the spot, something you said, like with the koi pond, and like I just love going to that area, I will say, and just finding a nice bench or a little table, and is like the best place to relax and have that shaved ice. So good.
Absolutely. So I mean, people will think, oh, just shaved ice. No, you have to try it. It's worth a try at least.
Real quick, Eric, before we get to your before we get to your comment, because Rhonda Lee can't call in. We love Rhonda Lee. She can't call in tonight, but she's throwing her plug in for the best snack, pretzel bread pudding. Just want to make sure so we don't miss that later. Pretzel bread.
I've never had that
pudding. I don't think I have either.
Pretzel bread pudding.
I don't even know where it is. Rhonda Lee's gonna have to let us know where that is. Is that over in Norway? Possibly. I don't know.
It sounds like a Norway thing. All I know is the school bread in Norway.
Yeah, I'm thinking of school bread
because I always get the school bread.
Yep. Okay, so go ahead.
I like the rice pudding in Norway too. Is so good. That's kind of like our go-to.
Okay.
I feel like I should take all the answers tonight and just do that on my Epcot day. Like the listeners of the BRS podcast is going to tell me what I do at Epcot. That could be a fun episode, Mike. Actually,
yeah, that definitely could. It's in Germany. Rhonda Lee, let us know.
I was wondering that because of the pretzel. I was thinking Germany.
I mean, like, we didn't want to be stereotypical, but of course, Germany.
We are here to help everybody have great snacks. Thank you, Rhonda Lee. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah. So before I go, I wanted to just throw something down about the cake bake shop because it is the topic that will never end. It's a really nice Instagrammable spot. I'm a New York person. There are a lot of places that are Instagrammable that look like this in New York that are at the top that have, food for less. I'll bring you to Felix or I'll bring you to Fleur. If you want to go there, that's fine. But honestly, they better have some really great food because at some point, that type of decoration, the way they have that set out in the very floral, faux Victorian style, is going to be out of favor with all the people who do postings. These trends come and go very, very quickly. They have to live and die by the food that's there. So I will not judge them before I eat the food. I could bring you to like Barney Greengrass, one of the oldest places in New York, and get you a sturgeon egg salmon on a bagel for $21, about the same. I wish them luck. I don't think they deserve the hate that they are getting. They are pricing things at what they think people will buy. And if it doesn't work out, they can adjust. Maybe it looks bad if they cut the menu prices down 2 months afterwards, but you sub out another thing on that menu that you put at a more reasonable price, and you slowly do that over the course of a while so that you get your menu right. Good luck to them. I hope people who go really enjoy it. And I hope it gives them a great memory of Disney.
No, I agree. That's so well said. That is so well said. And I appreciate that, Eric. So you get anything else? Because we got a couple other people trying to get in. Make sure we get this in by the top of the hour. But that's so well said.
Yeah, a quick warning about south of the border. The last time I went, they were requiring tetanus shots to enter. So be careful before you go.
I think Eric should be the general manager of the cake bake shop, though.
Oh my God, you kill me, Eric. You kill me. Oh my God. Okay, well, have a good one, buddy. It's good talking to you. I'll talk to you soon, buddy. You're funny. See you later. Okay. All right. So real quick. Okay. So real quick on that, let me get the next call, but hang on. Man, I'm telling you, there's nothing lights up the phone lines like expensive cake. This is crazy.
Or what's your favorite Epcot / Animal Kingdom?
Hang on, caller, because I gotta say something. Because we had a conversation also about the cake bake shop, and I said this on social media. People were giving negative Google reviews to the cake bake shop online for Walt Disney. Wow. That is 100% wrong. You should, and I believe this about any business, any kind of anything. You should not be able to give any kind of a review of a business, a website, a service, anything like that unless you are an actual customer that has experienced the product. I think that is so wrong to predetermine the experience of the business and go in there and rate, star rate a business before you've had an experience with them. Because we've given our opinions on the prices. I think they're crazy high, but I mean, and I've given, that's what we do on podcasts. We give opinions, but I'm not going to go in there and rate anything until I have an experience with it and see maybe it is worth it. Maybe I'm blown away by the ambiance, the beauty of the place, the exceptional service. I mean, it could be, it probably won't be, but it could be. But I'm definitely not going to put my pen to paper and put that out there for the universe to see. That's not fair. That's not right. And I can't believe people are doing that. And it just, that bugs me. And, like Eric even said, it would look bad for them to lower their prices. I don't think so. Like if the market doesn't bear a piece of cake that's $22 and they go down to 18, I think people might see that as being fan friendly or being family friendly, and being reading the room.
Yeah, there could be some negative heat on that too. Like, oh, they were wrong from the start. I liked Eric's suggestion of like subbing in and out. That's why I said Eric should be the general manager. Like he's got the whole business side down for them already. I love it.
I'm not a business person, so I'm probably terrible at this kind of stuff. But anyway, all right. So we have our next caller. Hey, who's joining us? Thanks for your patience. I'm sorry about that, but who's joining us first?
Hey, no worries. It's Thomas from Cleveland.
Thomas, congratulations, first of all. And the password, please.
His free cake.
Oh, it is the raspberry champagne cake from the Cake Bake Shop. I think it's Epcot adjacent, Scott. So I think that counts, right?
That counts, yeah. But
it could have been Humble Pie, but we're not going to go there.
I can't wait to meet and pay my debt because of the Guardians beating the Tigers. But what is your current favorite? One that you've tried before, Epcot snack?
That's a tough one because Epcot is like my wife's least favorite park. So I love the noodles in Japan, the ramen in Japan. I don't know if that's a snack or a meal, but I love Japan.
Depends how big your appetite is. That'll work. We'll take.
I'm there.
I like it. That's a great answer. Japan back-to-back calls. Getting some love. I love it.
Yeah, it is. That's right. Germany and Japan are carrying the day.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to call in to make sure that Scott honors his bet. I know he's a man of his word, but I just wanted to call in, say hi, and Cleveland got a win. It's not very often for us, especially with the Browns.
I thought you had the Eagles today, but you guys couldn't do it.
That's all right. That's all right, though. It was a fun series.
No, I agree with you, Mike. Oh, what's that?
I was just saying it was a fun series. It was a good series to watch for sure. And go beat the Yankees now. I know there's a lot of Yankee fans too, so that's no hard feelings there. I just want to see a good series.
I mean, Yankees fans never tell you they're Yankees fans ever. You never hear that.
No, National League, I'm Mets all the way, so I get it. But no, I don't want to take a lot of your time. I just wanted to call in. I was cooking dinner right when you guys started, so I kind of missed the beginning of the show. Can't wait to listen when it hits the podcast feed. But love you guys. I don't have much Disney other than I'm looking forward to the Cake Bake Shop, and I'm looking forward to having that raspberry cheesecake with or the raspberry champagne cake with Scott. So
I can't wait for it. And how about Navy making the top 25, right?
Yes. How about Michigan is surrounded? And by the way,
Jason put that post
today, right? They're basically surrounded. Michigan. They got Army above them and Navy below them, dude. They're just surrounded by the
pretty awesome.
I love it. Both ranked finally.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, Mike, I'll be in your neck of the woods in about a month.
Really?
I just got reassigned out to St. Louis. My unit's out of St. Louis, so I'll be out there in about a month.
Well, let me know. We'll have to meet up. That'd be awesome.
All right. Sounds good.
I'll show you the studio. All right.
If it's after my trip, I can bring back some cake with me and then go to St. Louis and be.
Let's go.
There we go.
That cake will be flying first class.
I had to buy its own ticket.
All right.
Exactly. All right, Thomas. We'll talk to you soon, man. Thanks for the call. Congratulations.
Go Guardians.
Good one.
All right. See you later.
See you guys.
And Thomas brings up a great point. If you watch live, which we have more and more live people tuning in all over we've since we've been doing this live thing and we're all over the place, you still got to download the show that
Yes.
matters. You don't have to listen to it. Download it. No, I'm just kidding. But
You
dude,
got to download, like, subscribe. You got to do all those things. It doesn't cost you anything.
exactly. Just still download for the love of God. Don't just watch live. Please download too. I'm just kidding, but not really. Okay. So the phone lines are back open. The phone lines have been jammed tonight. 407-413-9395. 407-413-939. I'm scared to even ask you a question because as soon as I do, somebody's going to jam in here. But
That's okay.
you are headed down to Walt Disney World here soon. And we were kind of talking about this. You made your ADRs. Because again, the last 2 weeks have been so crazy. I mean, dude, the Cake Bake Shop posts a menu. And we haven't been. And here we go. We got another
Boom,
call.
there we go.
I haven't even been able to talk to you about your ADRs, about your plans, because you're going
It's
down
all
to
good.
the cabins. You're
We're
going to
going to record tomorrow, too. So
Yeah, it's true. We're doing this week. That's going to be fun. All right. We have our next caller on the line. Hey, who's joining us?
Yeah, it's Billy.
Is it Billy?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. Where you call? What part of the world are you calling us from?
Seneca, Illinois.
Nice. That's just right across the little river a ways down from Scott. Okay. Password. Best snack at Epcot so you can get into the show here tonight.
I'm a fat man, so I like all the snacks.
But is it something over at
me
Animal
too.
Let's see, probably the pretzel bread pudding at Germany.
Yeah.
Number 2 for that.
Rhonda Lee just said that as well. Rhonda Lee said that was her favorite. She couldn't call in tonight, so you represented well for her. So there you go.
And I'm not even familiar with this snack.
I've never
It's the
heard of
thing.
this. Apparently, this is a thing. Huh.
It's like a little snack place next to Beer Garden. And if you go in there, you can order it. It comes out warm. It's very good. Got a caramel sauce.
Dude, I'll take your word.
Research. I'm doing it next month, Mike.
Man, dude, I'll totally taking your word for it. All right. So what's on your mind? What do you got?
I just have a question. Hopefully it won't take up too much of your time. But I'm headed to Disneyland in about a month. And I was wondering if there's any like extra activities that they have like they do at Disney World with like the tie-dye and the mosaic tiles and that sort of thing. I can't find anything on an app, and I was just wondering if they exist or if I'm just not looking on the right spot.
Scotty G, what do you know about that?
I don't think they really do. I'm trying to think of my times like staying on site. I mean, they'll do like kind of like those things they do at the pool, right? But those are more towards like the children, right? Where they do those activities. But we had a caller on tonight Eric, who had a great review of something he did recently, which he got to do a tour, I believe, of like the Disneyland Hotel. Do you remember him talking about that, Mike? Where like it's not really like public anywhere, like or really like known. Like I think only him and a couple other people did it, but he got to tour like the Disneyland Hotel and got to see like all this great stuff. They talked about the artwork and all that, and that sounded really neat to me. So that would be something I would look into too, especially if you got some downtime or you want to do some more exploring of the resort. That'd be a great thing to do, I think.
Now I know it sounds like you're driving, so I'm pretty. Are you watching live? You're not. Are you? I guess you are watching live. Are you driving? I don't care.
I
if you are.
am actually driving home from work.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm not. I don't judge. I don't judge because I don't judge. But I'm just saying.
I've got my hands free on.
Okay.
So
Okay. I'm just saying. Okay. Well, here's the deal. Because you said you're a big man. They have when I was out there, Scott and I went to Storytellers, which is in the Grand Californian. It's a character breakfast, kind of like Chef Mickey's. All the characters come around. It's really good breakfast, man. But the one thing I couldn't keep my eyes off of while we were waiting to go in. This is like a little bonus thing they did. They did yoga. So you could do yoga in the morning, but yoga was in the pool on like surfboards. Now, I don't know how much of a big man activity that is because there ain't no way my 6'4" butt could be on those things more than 2 seconds. But those people they're Californians, right? Californians are made for yoga on surfboards and swimming pools. It was an amazing feat. It was like Chinese acrobats or something, it was unreal. So I couldn't keep my eyes off them. Like it was like a feat of magic. But they do those things. So what I'm getting at is what I would do is when you get there, just ask at check-in. And what they'll probably do is give you a pamphlet and say, here's what we have to offer while you're here. That's probably your best advice.
All right. I appreciate that. I maybe I might go watch the people do yoga on surfboards.
It was crazy.
And maybe
I'm not sure it's for me, but it sounds fun.
If
maybe
you
someone-
do it, take video.
maybe someone from the chat can confirm this, because this is a pre-pandemic thing I did, which I thought was like the coolest thing. If you're staying on site, so I don't know if you're staying on site, Billy, but just to throw that out there, if anyone remembers this, but you could do a walking tour of the park in the morning. It was like the wake up and go or something. I can't remember what the name of it was, and I did it at California Adventure. And you just like walked at a brisk pace with like a leader, and then you would do like these stretches in front of the fun wheel, like at sunrise. It was like one of the coolest things ever. And it was just free. Like you just showed up and did this little walk in the morning in the park. I loved it. But
All right,
yeah, Eric is saying for that tour though. So if that's something that interests you, Billy, he said it was at 1 p.m. You go to Disneyland hotel lobby like a little bit before then to check in. But yeah, I just remember him talking about it a couple months ago, just like loving it. And as a Disney fan, it sounded great to me.
I do remember him talking about it. It sounded pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says reservations. Yeah, reservations are required. Just check in at the front desk, and they'll let you know.
All right. Thanks for the advice.
All right.
Thanks for the tips. Thanks for the show.
Hey,
you guys have a good night.
Safe driving. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it.
Thanks for the call, Billy. Take care now.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Love me a Disneyland.
Oh,
love me a Disneyland trip.
Real quick though, because we got to stop taking calls because we're at the top of the hour. Man,
but there's a great.
How about that, man?
I know. There's a question I saw about like Alani advice. Like we can maybe answer that another time. But I've been to Alani. I actually might do a video on Alani because a lot of people have been asking about it. But it wouldn't be like it'd be more like in a podcast style, kind of like this. But I might do something like that. And then and I'm going again next month. I mean not next month, next year. Super excited about that. But yeah, our friend Brand AG. We are there November 30th to December 6th. Same dates. Give them the ding, Mike. We have some overlapping dates. We will be there November 27th through December 2nd. So yeah, if it works out, it'd be awesome to meet up, man.
I'll be down there December 11th. One night only.
You're killing me for that. I want to do that. I'd rather do that.
I know. Can't wait. But okay, real quick. Did you see? Because it's a good way to tease the out of the show.
Okay.
Because you've seen this and I have not. The teaser video that came out on Friday.
The teaser video.
PTN. Paint the Night.
Oh my gosh. I love that show.
Is that parade awesome? You've seen it, right?
Yeah, I've seen it multiple times. It was there because it was like part of the 60th celebration is how it came out at Disneyland, which is crazy. Like we're about to have the 70th anniversary, I think, coming for Disneyland, which is crazy. So I went to the 60th twice. I went at the beginning, and you know, like how Disney does these celebrations. I went near the beginning, and I went to the very end, and there was like an 18-month separation. So you just know those things like go on forever. Paint the Night was an unbelievable parade. It has like the soundtrack from Owl City, like When Will We See You Again? It's from the Wreck-It Ralph movie.
Man, I love that.
It gives me goosebumps, that song, and you just like. And it's more like a kind of like a Main Street Electrical Parade kind of style, like a synthesizer kind of version of like the song, and then like you got the floats. It's got like the great cars like truck that goes through there.
Yeah, it's got the 18-wheeler. I mean, I've seen the pictures, right?
Yeah.
I mean, does it looks as cool as those pictures? Like in person?
It does. It's even better, man. It gave me chills watching it, and I'm psyched for it. For years I've been saying I wish it would come to Walt Disney World, but. But we're supposed to be getting a nighttime parade, though, right? I mean, that's what they said.
Yeah, they are. But it's not Paint the Night. It has a name. I forget what it
does. It have a name? I couldn't remember. Yeah,
Paint
the Night is unbelievable. Like if you're at Disneyland Park and the parade's just make time for it because it is a very cool experience. You gotta see it. I wouldn't say once, you gotta see it every time that you're in the park. You just gotta see it.
I mean, I wish it would be out by the time we go out for the races, like at the end of January, but it probably won't. But I mean, like this is something that is because it looks so cool in the pictures, and you've talked about it so highly, and it's not just you. Everybody that has talked about it. Oh, it's just like Carolyn right now. She's like, it is amazing in the chat, and I trust her so much because she always has such great advice. Everybody's like, it is unreal. Like this is something I would, a few things that you would schedule a vacation to not miss. And this is one of those things that I would go out there I would definitely make a trip to see. I gotta see.
You have to. It's so good. I mean, I know you're like Mr. Like I love the nighttime parades, which I do too. and this one it meets all the expectations. Great soundtrack, great energy, good length of a parade. You know, it's just awesome. I mean, I can't say anything negative about it. It's that good.
But Disney did it just right. Like I think it was on Friday. I mean, it's just like a little blurb. It didn't have any details, didn't have dates, didn't even say it was at Disneyland.
Yeah.
It just showed like snippets, and you knew it was Paint the Night because it was the 18-wheeler.
Yep.
And it was the music, just real short. You know what I'm saying? Everybody lost their minds. So, I mean, we're just guessing that it's coming back to Disneyland. I think it said like coming soon or something, but because obviously it's not coming to World because they've announced the other
parade. Yeah.
I can't wait. Anyway,
it's gonna be awesome. Yeah. I know. Like, when will it come? Like, it'll probably be after the holiday season, right? Like, it's got to be during like a time where it'll probably be like in March or something.
Yeah, spring break, probably for the summer. Yeah, good stuff. Hey, we'll be together this week, so this will be fun.
Oh yeah. You need me for the shows, right? The Scotty G bat signal I saw it in the sky tonight for tomorrow. Yeah.
Yep. Big Spartan head.
I'll be there.
That's it. All right. So we're going to jump out of here, but we will be here together Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week with fun shows. Rick will be joining us as well. So come on back. We'll be answering your questions on Wednesday. Have a fun topic for you on Friday. And of course, we got a trip report already loaded for you. It's going to hit the feed here in less than an hour if you're tuned in live. So be ready for that. And don't forget, our show's brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We're standing by to help you plan a great Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney vacation for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details this week over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. It's one extra click, supports everything we do. BeOurGuestPodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make all this possible. You can support us just $5 a month, and you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. This week we talked about transitions. It was kind of a deep show. I don't know. I was thinking about a lot this morning on my walk, and I saw some leaves transitioning from summer to fall, and I don't know. And Scott, you were brought up a lot how our kids are transitioning. Like, dude, we're gonna be empty nesters soon.
Know what we've been doing for the last couple hours before the show?
What?
Writing proofreading an essay. Proofreading an essay answer because Michigan State's this is too much, but like basically she's gonna be submitting her application to Michigan State tomorrow because like we get free applications for being Michigan residents and it's like due tomorrow. So yeah,
just good. I'm telling you, man, it's starting to hit.
Essay season has started for college.
I talked about how you kind of give me the preview of what's coming, how it's starting to finally hit us. Like it's because you transition for different, like life has lots of transitions, right? And this is a big one.
This is a big transition right now.
It's rough, dude. It is hard. So we talk about that in Mike in the Midwest this week. So if you want to get out on that, maybe you don't. Maybe you want to avoid it like the plague. But we talk about how, there's pluses and minuses. It's patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Give us a follow on the social media at @Scott for Scott, at BeOurGuest Mike for myself, and all the places where the social media is. Check out all of Scotty's stuff on YouTube. Must See Adventures. That's what you want to type into YouTube. He's got a new episode 10. Is now out. So check that out. Scott, give a brief synopsis of what people are going to check out with this episode. It's about, as you're watching live, about 36 hours or so fresh on the YouTube.
Right. So basically, we teased it like it was disembarkation day, but we didn't leave the ship. Why did we not leave the ship? Yeah, we're doing it back to back. So I'll say it's very heavy, like it's almost like a podcast version of a vlog because there's not a lot happening, we're not really sailing away, we're just staying on the ship. So a lot of thoughts on the ship. I do this fun little rapid fire game with Emily, but yeah, come hang out with us. It's a fun episode still though. I'm really excited about it.
All right, so check that out. Also, come over to the Clubhouse, BeOurGuestPodcast.com/Clubhouse. We have channels in there. It's kind of like a message board. So there's interest for everybody. I mean, on Saturdays, it is all college football and Sports Center. I mean, it's funny seeing how this team goes down. Oh my gosh, this team's here pulling upset. That's for all of us sports fans. We just hang out in that little channel. We have channels for My Corner of the World. We talk about how what it's like, all of our accomplishments and our families. And then we have just the millions of Disney channels. We talk about the resorts. We talk about dining. We talk about the international Disney destinations. We talk about DVC. All the DVC owners are in the Welcome Home channel. It's just a lot of fun. So come on over and check it out. There's no ads. There's no nonsense. It's just listeners of the show. About 1,200 of us coming over. BeOurGuestPodcast.com/Clubhouse. We'd love to see you over there. this week. And of course, we'll have the live show again next week, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Take your calls, and we hope we have as much fun as we did this Sunday, because this Sunday, thank you for being a part of this. This was so much fun. This is what it's all about. It's about all the calls, and that's what we had tonight. I loved it. Lots of new callers and just lots of good chat. This is a blast. This is like, I'm living my dream. This is,
Yeah,
it's
I
like
love
being
it.
a radio show.
It is a radio show.
It is. It's crazy.
Yeah. It makes me think of like WDW today, man. Remember they used to do like this for 2 hours? And I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I don't know if we could do this for 2 hours, but when the calls are coming, I'm not saying we are, but when the calls are coming, but when the calls are coming in like they are tonight, man, it's easy, right? It's just like, it's so, and it's fun. I love it.
We're going to do this for 6 hours in March, taking your calls. So be ready. So we need your call, but it's for good cause. So we're not trying to punish you. All right. Anyway, we'll get more details on that coming soon from Give Kids a World Village. But until then, we're jumping out of here. So for Scotty G up in Michigan, I'm Mike here in Missouri. You guys have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. All righty.
Fun episode.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
All right.
I love the calls, man. This is fun.
I do too. Because it is. I mean, it's so easy just to talk. You know, like I love the questions, the talk.
Yeah.
I mean,
My only worry is like, are we about to get like spam? Like a little bit. I always like, you just never know, man.
I always have my finger ready to go. But fortunately, we're not. I mean, YouTube scares me to death because YouTube goes at like YouTube.
I know.
Wild.
Yeah, for sure.
It's fun. Thanks, Ronda. Thanks, Eric. All right,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go walk with Pam and the dog, and it's pitch black, and it's actually cold kind of now.
It is cold. I took some photos of the leaves changing. You know, that could be part of your transition, right? The seasons are changing a little bit. You know,
that's why I got the idea, because I took a picture of some leaves changing.
Yeah,
they're really pretty.
Like my neighborhood is like you got red, orange, like it's all happening right now. It's really pretty, but it was just a cloudy, rainy day, unfortunately. But
we've had beautiful days. We're getting our first frost on Wednesday.
Dude, next weekend looks really good for anyone running Detroit half marathon this weekend too. Like I'm going to be in Detroit Saturday. Just my friend Neil, he's running it. I'm registered for it, but I'm having some problems with the Bridge Authority people, so I don't think I'm going to do it. I don't know what's going on. Like they want to interview me. It's crazy.
We got to go across like into Canada.
Yeah, I've done this race like 3 times. Like now they want to interview me. So like I'm not going to mess with it. So like, and I'm not trained for it. I mean, not that I ever trained for any race, but I just want to hang out with some friends on Saturday. But yeah, if you're gonna be around, let me know.
Though, like they gotta like interview you. That's serious.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so crazy.
I know. Like, why?
we hear you have a new YouTube channel. We need
maybe like they're worried about me vlogging it or something. I don't know.
Or you must see Adventure Scott.
But the weather looks awesome for the race, though. That's what I was trying to get at. So I mean, weather changes, right? But it looks good for next weekend. So
good deal.
Hopefully I'll be good for our Detroit/Canadian runners.
Yeah, today was a Chicago marathon. It looked nice up there for them.
For sure.
That's good. All right. I'm gonna duck out. I'll talk to you tomorrow normal time.
Right.
Yes, because Ricky's gonna be with us, so it'll probably be 5:30 your time.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
See ya. Have a good one.
Have a good night, everyone.
All right, see you.
Bye. See ya.